Hey everyone, so today we're completely tearing up the old definition of smart. Seriously, forget about a single score or some label someone gave you once. We're going to talk about building a mental toolkit that you can actually use to tackle pretty much any situation life throws at you. All right, let's dive right in. For the longest time, we've been stuck on this one single idea of what intelligence is. But, the world is changing fast, and our definition of what it means to be capable, well, that needs to change right along with it. So let me ask you this straight up. Are you smart enough for 2026? It kind of feels like a trick question, right? It implies there's some bar you have to meet, some big test you have to pass to be ready. But what if that's just completely the wrong question to be asking in the first place? What if the real question isn't about how smart you are, but about how you are smart? And this is where things get really interesting. We're going to introduce a new way of looking at this. So instead of thinking of intelligence as one single thing, I want you to imagine your mind as this amazing, versatile toolkit, just packed with different instruments for different jobs. And here is the absolute key idea. This is not about slapping a label on yourself, like, I'm the creative one, or, oh, I'm the logical one. No. This is about having a whole set of tools you can consciously choose from, depending on what's right in front of you. Okay, so check this out. Your toolkit basically has two main trays. On one side, you got your ability domains. These are the tools you use for processing things and for creating stuff. A perfect example is spatial thinking. That's what helps you visualize how to design a cleaner, more efficient workspace. Then on the other side, you got your regulation and adaptation tools. These are all about how you operate under pressure, like your adversity quotient, or AQ, which is that tool that helps you get back up and restart after a really bad week. So knowing you have all these tools is one thing, but knowing which one to grab in the heat of the moment, now that is the real skill we're talking about. Now I know these terms can get a little confusing because they sound kind of similar, so let's clear it up. Think of it like this. Interpersonal intelligence is for one-on-one stuff. EQ, or emotional intelligence, is all about managing your own internal feelings. And SQ, social intelligence, that's for navigating the tricky dynamics of a group. So you've got a tool for dealing with one person, a tool for yourself, and a tool for the crowd. See? 3 different tools for 3 very different situations. And look how simple this can be in practice. You really don't need some complex flow chart. Just follow these quick rules. Is the situation about feelings? Start with EQ. Are you dealing with a group? That's a job for SQ. Is it a one-on-one conversation? Grab your interpersonal tool. And what if the conflict is internal? You versus you. That's when you reach for intrapersonal intelligence, the tool for self-understanding. So simple, right? And so effective. All right, let's make this even more real. I'm going to pull 3 specific tools right out of the toolkit and show you exactly how they show up in everyday life. First one up, Visual-Spatial intelligence. This is your brain's amazing ability to think in 3D. It's about creating images, maps, and diagrams in your mind's eye. It's the architect inside you. And believe me, you use this tool all the time, probably without even thinking about it. It's that magic that kicks in when you're packing a suitcase, somehow making everything fit perfectly. It's there when you're rearranging the furniture in a room to make it feel better. It's even the secret weapon behind designing really clear presentation slides that people just get. And at work, it can feel like a superpower. Imagine this. Your team is totally stuck, just constantly confused about some process. Instead of scheduling yet another long meeting, you pull out this tool. You just sketch a simple 6-step diagram on a whiteboard, and suddenly, clicks. Everyone gets it. The confusion just evaporates. And guess what? Those awful 45-minute meetings are now a quick, efficient 15 minutes. That's the power of picking the right tool for the job. Okay, next tool, emotional intelligence, or EQ. This is all about your ability to understand and manage emotions, not just your own, but also the emotions of the people around you. It's kind of like your internal operating system. EQ is that little voice that tells you to pause and take a breath before you fire back a reply to let's say, a spicy message. It's the skill that helps you stay steady and focused when a huge deadline is coming up and everyone else is starting to freak out. It's an absolutely critical tool for getting through our crazy, high-stress world. Think about this happening. A message from a colleague pops up, and the tone just feels off. It sounds cold. Your first instinct might be to get defensive and fire back. But instead, you use your EQ tool. You just pause, and you ask a simple, clarifying question. And it turns out they were just rushing out the door for a doctor's appointment. And just like that, a huge potential conflict completely disappears. No drama, no hurt feelings. And our third tool for today is the adversity quotient, or AQ. The best way to think about this is as your resilience engine. It's not about avoiding challenges, it's about your ability to face them, to persevere when it gets really hard, and most importantly, to bounce back even stronger from setbacks. And AQ shows up everywhere. It's what gets you through a terrible week without just giving up. It's the inner strength that lets you handle rejection and just keep moving forward. It's what allows you to learn from your mistakes instead of trying to hide them. And it's the fuel that keeps your momentum going during those really long, grinding projects. Let's take a really modern example. Say you're creating content online, and for a whole month, nothing lands. It's a total flop. Man, it would be so easy to just quit. But if you've got a strong AQ, you don't. You step back, you analyze what changed, you test new ideas, you adapt, and you rebuild. You know, the real win there isn't that you suddenly went viral. The real win is that you didn't disappear when it got tough. So, you've seen the tools, you get the big idea. Now we get to the most important part. How in the world do you actually start building these skills, like today? Here's the secret. Don't try to fix everything at once. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, I want you to treat this like a practical menu. First, pick one intelligence that's already one of your strengths and figure out how to lean into it even more. Then, pick one new skill you want to actively build. And finally, choose one small habit that will protect your energy so you have the fuel to keep going. And you can start so small. I mean, micro habits. For Visual-Spatial, next time you've got a problem, just try sketching a super simple flowchart before you do anything. To build that EQ muscle, when you feel that stress rising, just try 60 seconds of slow, deep exhales before you respond. And for your AQ, after any setback, big or small, just grab a notebook and write down one lesson you learned and one very next action you're going to take. That's it. Simple, repeatable habits.
So, there you have it. This was never about passing some test or getting a fancy label. It's about recognizing the incredible, multifaceted mental toolkit that you already have. So the only question left, and it's the one that really matters, is this. Looking at your own life, your own goals, your own challenges, what tool in your kit are you going to sharpen first?